let's talk about something that could be making you tired and unfocused right now. Something you can't even see. It's an invisible factor in the air all around us. But, there's a pretty simple piece of tech that can actually make it visible and give you back control over your own environment.
Okay, so let's dive right in. We spend so much time worrying about outdoor pollution, right? But what about the air inside our homes, our schools, our offices? Turns out there's an invisible threat lurking right where we spend most of our time.
I mean, really think about it. You're in a long meeting, or maybe a crowded classroom, and that wave of drowsiness just hits you. You feel kind of unfocused, a little foggy. Sound familiar?
Well, that feeling, it might not just be boredom or a lack of sleep. The reason could literally be in the air itself. Specifically, a buildup of something we all produce just by, breathing. Carbon dioxide, or CO2.
So if this problem is totally invisible, how on earth are we supposed to manage it? Well, this is where technology gives us a huge advantage. Let's take a look at the solution that brings this hidden factor right out into the light.
Say hello to the CO2 Monitor. It's a really straightforward but incredibly powerful little device. Think of it like a pair of glasses for our indoor environment. It measures CO2 levels around the clock, giving us a real-time, objective number that tells us exactly what's going on with our air quality.
And listen, these aren't just some niche gadgets for scientists. They're becoming absolutely critical tools pretty much everywhere, from the subway you might take to work, to the office where you spend your day, and even in high-tech greenhouses to make sure plants are thriving. They're just essential for managing all kinds of indoor spaces.
All right, so the monitor gives you a number, but what does that number actually mean for you? Let's decode the data and see what it's telling us about our air and, more importantly, about our health.
Okay, this is our gold standard, 400 parts per million, or ppm. Just think of it like this. If you had 1 million tiny air molecules in a little box, only 400 of them would be CO2. This is what fresh, clean, outdoor air looks like, and it's what we should be aiming for indoors. Now let's jump way up the scale. At 1500 ppm, we are smack in the middle of the poor air quality zone. And here's what's really important. At levels like this, studies show our cognitive function can drop a lot. That foggy feeling, it's not just in your head. It's a real, measurable hit to your focus and your decision-making.
And then we get to the extreme end. Anything over 5,000 ppm is considered straight-up dangerous. At these kinds of concentrations, CO2 can pose some pretty severe health risks. This is a situation that requires immediate action, like getting everyone out of that space.
So, this chart is basically your practical guide. Think of it like a roadmap for your air. Up to about 1,000 ppm, you're in the green. Air quality's good, no worries. But once you cross that line into the moderate zone, that's a clear signal to ventilate. Open a window, turn on a fan. As you can see, the advice gets more and more urgent as the numbers climb, all the way to evacuating when things get dangerous. It's a simple, data-driven way to manage your environment.
Now, this tech isn't just for our own personal awareness. It's also completely revolutionizing how we design and manage entire buildings, which leads to this bigger picture of efficiency and sustainability.
Here's a perfect example of that impact. Traditionally, a building's ventilation system, its HVAC, just runs on a fixed schedule. It's wasting a ton of energy pumping air into empty rooms. But when you integrate real-time CO2 data, the system gets smart. It provides fresh air only when and where people are actually present. That just drastically cuts down on energy waste.
So the takeaway for any business is pretty simple. You save a significant amount of money on energy, you meet health and safety standards, and you boost your green credentials all at the same time. It's a true win-win-win situation.
And putting this into practice isn't just guesswork. There's a clear 3-step strategy. First, you strategically install monitors based on how many people are usually in a given space. Second, you integrate them all into a central building automation system, or BAS, for unified control of the whole building. And finally, you use that constant stream of data to generate reports for things like ESG compliance and safety inspections. It's a really systematic approach to creating healthier, more efficient buildings.
So, we've covered the what and the how, but let's just take a step back and look at the big picture for a second. Why is this simple little technology so important?
Because, it's not just about a number on a screen. It's about taking active control over our environment. It's about creating spaces where we can be healthier, where we can think more clearly, and feel more productive. Really, it's about empowerment, all through simple, actionable information. Ultimately, it all boils down to this triple benefit:
While protecting our health is, of course, the main driver, it goes hand in hand with cutting energy use and supporting sustainability. This one technology serves all three of those goals at once.
And look, this isn't some fringe idea anymore. As this quote from our source material highlights, CO2 monitors are quickly becoming a standard for any modern building. They're a key tool in this global movement towards healthier workplaces and, ultimately, achieving carbon neutrality.
So, we'll leave you with this question. We've shown you how to see an invisible factor that affects your daily life, in your office, in your home, everywhere. The real question is, now that you can see it, what are you going to do about it?